Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, passion for excellence.
This is Autoline Daily for Monday, July 5th, 2010, and the Autoline Daily crew is on vacation this week. So rather than leave you in the dark, we thought you'd be interested in taking a look back in time at 5 of the most important cars that this industry has ever produced. It's part of a series of videos we created a decade ago called The Car of the Century. And we'll get to the 5th most important car of the 20th century right after this.
Introducing Bridgestone's 3rd generation of run-flat tires with groundbreaking new Bridgestone technologies. Bridgestone run-flat tires offer improved ride comfort, lower rolling resistance, and improved wear while giving you the peace of mind and comfort you need.
One of the most surprising cars to make the final 5 in the voting for the car of the century is the Porsche 911. While the other finalists are all mass production cars aimed at a wide audience, the 911 is a sports car built in relatively low production. Yet, while everyone is surprised that it makes the final 5, everyone believes it deserves to be there.
Enthusiasm is such a great part of the world's love affair with cars. And if you're going to pick one car that has been an enduring icon in sports, in enthusiasm, it's been the 911.
And yet there's no question that the 911 is something of a primitive car. As anyone who's ever owned one can tell you, with its rear engine layout, it's a handful to drive at speed, particularly if you have to back off the gas sharply while cornering. The car simply wants to swap ends. That's one reason why the 911 is so unique. No one ever copied its design.
It's not a car that lots of other people followed. Porsche themselves even went the front engine route for a while before coming back to rear engines. But it's one of those cars that's an icon. There's nothing else quite like a Porsche 911 and probably never will be.
While no other automaker ever followed the basic layout of the 911, it's a no-compromise car and one that rewards the enthusiast driver who learns how to bring the most out of it. Part of the allure of owning one is the knowledge that this is not a car for just anyone. You have to know what you're doing to really make this car perform.
It absolutely made my list. You know, we're looking at a car that maybe is a triumph of engineering over logic. This was a car that retained an air-cooled engine longer than anyone else had thought possible. The rear engine layout, which most people do not regard as the optimal layout from handling, packaging, anything else, 911 is retained throughout its entire life. And not only did they produce a car that worked with these setups, it worked really well. There have been racing derivatives of this car that have won Le Mans. The engines have gone into other Porsche racing cars that have achieved great success. So there's just a lot of history and technology around this car that makes it fascinating.
One reason the 911 scores well with the jury is that it's still in production today. It's been completely redesigned, but still remains faithful to the original.
Well, it's 36 years old. The Porsche was built first came out, was introduced in 1963. And like I said, it had about 141 horsepower at that time. It has about 300 horsepower now. But it always has been a lot of fun to drive.
I hope you enjoyed this look back in time at one of the most important cars in the history of the industry. Tomorrow, we'll be giving you an in-depth look at the 4th most important car of the 20th century. And before I sign off, don't forget to check out a special open line tonight. While Eric Tricko from RumbleStrip.net will be taking over the main hosting duties, Michelle Naranjo will be calling in from the road. Here she is with more details.
Hey guys, as you can see, I'm in sort of an unusual setting today, and that's because the Open Line Show is on the road this week. I'm heading out from Detroit to Yellowstone on a road trip, but I'll still be calling in to participate in more great automotive discussion tonight. In the meantime, you can follow my road trip adventures where I'll be blogging at roundaboutshow.com. See you tonight.
Open Line starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Time and 5 p.m. Pacific. You can get all the details at autolinedetroit.tv/journal. And we'll be returning to all of our regular programming, including Autoline Daily, Autoline Detroit, and Autoline After Hours next week in their normal time slots. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.